Hey, so I am just leaving Acme. One of my used to be one of my favorite spots because before Acme, here in New Jersey and in the tri-state area, they were all Pathmarts, and some Pathmarts that were here became several different spots. But the ones that were the best for me in Jersey became they went from Pathmart to Acme, and they're the place where you can find a decent steak, very good price because a lot of people are not cooking. And I took a moment to stop here. But before I got here, I went to Harbor Freight. So I first got to Harbor Freight. Look, I wound up getting something to wash. I gotta wash the cars. So I got one of these. And I got this from Harbor Freight. So when I was in Harbor Freight, the woman says to me, sir, you have to put on a mask. And I was like, oh, thank you very much for that. And then what I did was I was online when mind you, I was all throughout the store. I didn't walk in with a mask because I didn't have a mask. And I didn't have the scarf that I normally would use. It's a brown linen scarf. And while online, she tells one of the workers, hey, go get that gentleman a mask. So the girl goes, can't find them, wherever they stash their free giveaway masks, which I really appreciated Harbor Freight. I'm sending them an email. I actually was in the middle of sending them an email when I was like, dude, you need to go to Acme before they close. So I want to send them an email thanking them for offering me a free mask. I really appreciate that. Despite the fact that I'm against the mask, I do appreciate them at least offering me one. So the young lady, she actually went, got the mask because the first young woman couldn't find it. So the second one, she comes over to me and she opens up a pack of their Harbor Freight masks that they sell for like $5.99. She opens up a pack and she points it towards me. So she's holding, here, I have a mask here. I'll tell you the story about this mask in a sec. So she has them and it's maybe 10 inside the pack and she hands it to me. And as I reach over to grab the mask, her hands started to tremble. And I mean, it's been a long time since I made a woman hand tremble, from my company. But I said, love, if you're scared, go to church. And I said, and mind you, I'm up at the register now, and she just walked away. And I didn't take a mask. I shop, I buy my things, I give them my number. So as soon as they see me, they're gonna it's gonna be like, oh, this is a valued customer we have here. So now I'm at Acme. Do not have a mask still. I said that I was gonna run and grab a couple of steaks, which I did. These are the worst Acme. I'm not gonna say they're the worst, but there was no Prime. They only had USD choice. But I wound up getting some mushrooms because the other mushrooms for me to cut myself were huge. They were like, I was like, what am I gonna do with all these mushrooms? And then I got 2 packs of these. And they're not as red as I would like them. They have a sense of like they've been there for a minute. So I got 2 packs. This one was $13.99, which is $9.75, and this one was $19. So this is $19.75 for this pack, and then I have this pack too. So I point all this out to let you know that while in Acme, well, before I got to Acme, I see a gentleman walk from his car, very nice car, some sort of Suburban, walk to the door, turn around and walk back. And I'm stepping out of the vehicle, and I was like, and he goes and he grabs a mask. I says, "Oh, you forgot your control structure." And he was like, "Yeah, I forgot and he was like, "I like the way you said that." And I was like, I don't even think I have a mask. I'm gonna have to check the back of my vehicle and look for one. Maybe I have some sort of towel or something. And he goes, "Well, I have one. I can give you one." And I says, "All right, great, thanks." So he hands me this. I take this and I put it connected to my ear. So I never put the mask on. I just connected it to my ear like this. And a little bit when I first walked in, I pretended to be like adjusting it, but then it just fell to my ear, and I go to where the meat is at. I go to where the vegetables are at. First go to the meat, come around, and then I go to the vegetables and come back. While there, young man says to me, "Sir, you're gonna have to put your mask up." And I'll say, "Oh, thank you for that." Mind you, I have my hands full. I have watermelon, I have steaks, watermelon, onion, mushrooms, and both my hands are full. So I said, "Oh, thank you for that." And then, mind you, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 kiosks where you can just ring up your stuff how you want to ring it up. So we have the 9 kiosks, and I go to the one register that's open, and it's a young guy named Lucas, tall, about 6'2", good looking. And I say to him, "How you doing, Lucas?" And he goes, "I'm okay, thank you." And I says, "Yeah, I'm happy. I prefer to go to a person than go to the kiosk." And he goes, "Oh, cool." Didn't say much to him. He bags up the 2 bags. I pay for my stuff. And then I say to him, I says, "Lucas, did you notice how I did not comply?" And he says, "Yes, I did." And I says, "I want you to know, Lucas, you're young. You can not comply as well." He was like, "Oh." Oh, but before this happened, the guy who the guy who got the mask for me in the parking lot, he is now at the register in front of me. And while he's bagging up his stuff, he didn't even let the young Lucas bag up his stuff. He was putting his stuff in his own bags. So he goes over to me, because I had said, "Hey, Lucas, I'd rather have a person." So he then says, "Are you from Montclair?" And I was like, "No, I'm visiting a friend." And he says, "We need more people like you in Montclair." And I was like, "Wow, thank you. I appreciate that." And he had this desperation in his voice, like, "We need more people like you in Montclair." And as I'm walking out, the young man who initially said, "Yo, you have to put on the mask," I says, "Young man, how are you?" He says, "Oh, I'm good, sir." And I says, "Did you notice how I didn't comply to what you told me?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was just like, "You too have that same power." He was like, "What do you mean?" And I says, "You're an American. You can say no. No one can force you. Do you understand that? You're young." Mind you, Lucas is about 20 years old, and the young man who told me initially that I had to put the mask on, who was being the helper to those people that need assistance for the kiosk. And he was like, "Thanks, man." And I left, and I came to the car, and I was like, let me do a quick video. So, it's all about, thank you for telling me I need a mask. Good job. Like, a person that works at a supermarket should not be policing the supermarket. Even though, if, let's say, you're a stock boy in the supermarket and you see someone stealing, you go tell your manager, "Yo, that guy right there just took 10 cans of corned beef." But do you have to now be security and go the next step further? I find it to be crazy. So my thing was, thank you for telling me. I don't know what to say. You don't want to be security. You're not security, so you said what you had. Like all he can tell his bosses is like, I told him. I told the man he has to wear his mask. But just the idea that that little bell went off, and you see, I talk about tyranny all the time. If you're gonna fight tyranny, how are you gonna do it? You don't have to storm. I don't have to storm the castle to fight tyranny. I have to just open up the minds of Lucas and the other guy, and then show the one who gave me the mask that, because I was gonna go in without the mask. He offered me the free mask. All right, I'll take it. But as you can see, I went to 2 spots. Mind you, it's a good thing that they're in Jersey, whereas in the city they may be a little bit more hardcore. Because everybody in New York seems to be wearing a mask. I mean, there are very few non-mask wearing people in the city. But I did my part to fight tyranny today. What have you done? If you can hit me in the comment sections and talk about just a little bit of the tyranny that you find yourself fighting. For me, it's the mask. For me, it's the opening up the minds of the young people, letting them know that they can say no. They can say, I do not consent. They can say, this, no. You have that right to say no. What are the consequences? Let me just say this to you. While in Harbor Freight, the song that was playing was, oh, no, not in Harbor Freight. In here, Acme. The song that was playing was, I fought the law, and the law always wins. I fought the law, and the law, wait. I fought the law, and the law always wins. I fought the law, and the law always wins. I don't know the song. It was very, very catchy, and I thought that it was like, I thought the system was definitely wanting to check to see if I was paying attention, and yes, I was. You know, I thought the law and the law. So that's the cadence. I don't know the real words. I fought the law and the law. So I was well aware of that song playing in my head, and then I didn't let it mess with me. I was like, okay, I hear you. And I just kept it going. Now I'm here, and I'm thanking you. Let's not forget the value for value system. I keep reminding the people because, you know, you have to be consistent in this fight for understanding and appreciation. And if you got something out of this, I would say go to the Cash App or go to Venmo. And the Cash App is $ Elvis Rosenberg, one word. And the Venmo is at Elvis/Rosenberg. And you might have to refer to my video where I talked about the what was that video? I talked about how they were taking the licenses from the businesses, and in that video you can download, put that number into your contacts, and that will make you use Venmo a lot easier. All right, so you are appreciated. Oh, I should read something here, right? Let me read. Let me switch this around. Boom. Hey, Maria Dickinson. How are you, love? Vincent. Hey, what up, dude? What's happening to the Pathmark on 125th Street? I do remember them having really good deals on quality meat. Yo, I remember when that 125th Street Pathmark opened, it put a tear in my eyes. It was just so amazing. They had like, that's where I first got almond milk from, and I tried out like couscous for the first time. They had things that you never saw before. Pathmark was such an amazing spot. Hey, Tish. All right. I was at the amusement park with my 4-year-old, and the saddest thing is seeing kids on the kiddie rides and not being able to see the happy smiles, oh my God, on their faces. So true. While reading that, I just envisioned that, and it just was heartbreaking. Jeez Louise. And Lance, let me see what you're talking about. Deprivation of rights under color of law. Section 242 of Title 18. Get out of jail free card. Thank you, Lance. You are appreciated. I fought the authority, and the authority always wins. Okay, authority song. John Cougar. Oh, John Mellencamp. I remember him from junior high school, John Mellencamp. He was like, all the girls was loving on this guy. I didn't get it. But authority song. I'm gonna definitely get that song popping. I could probably get it from this other device. No, it's disconnected. Okay. So, you are appreciated, like always. Hashtag violently opposed. Hashtag don't consent. I do not consent. Hashtag I do not consent. And also, let's never forget, we are in a war. There's a war going on. Or let me just say this. We're in a fight. And this fight is one that we can win. But we just got to make sure that we know that we're in a fight. If you don't know that you're in a fight, you might get your ass whooped. But I'm here to tell you that you are in a fight that's winnable. And you are appreciated. Let me see. I just saw something. Yes, sir. Thank you, Lance. I'm going to hang up. I got to get home for dinner. I'm cooking some steaks with mushrooms. It's going to be good. Boom.